Not prepared to start this video. Okay. Hello, friends. Today I thought I would just do a flip through of my completed 2022 reading journal, then also show you the setup for 2023. I've already set up. I didn't do a plan with me or setup video. I couldn't be bothered. I just wanted to play my journal, so that's what I did without setting up my camera. So I'm just going to show you what we have. Alright, so we're going to start with 2022. This was my cover page, of course, made with sticker paper and a Cricut. You'll notice that last year as well as this year, I did away with monthly spreads. The last time I did monthly spreads was in 2021, and I didn't even make it halfway through the year. So as much as I do enjoy setting them up on occasion, it just feels like a chore sometimes and have to come up with a theme, and I'm kind of rewriting things over and over again as far as monthly stats and then putting them in the yearly stats, and it just seemed repetitive. So I kind of did away with that last year and again this year. Last year was the first year I did the whole book of the year, battle of the books, book bracket, whatever you want to call this, and turned out I actually really enjoyed it. It was fun. Not all of these books over here are great, wonderful books. Some of them were just 3-star reads, but just happened to be the best that I read that month, even though they weren't necessarily great. But a lot of them, and I'd say most of them, were 4- and 5-star reads. And we had Book of the Year, which was Damsel by Elana Arnold. This was sort of my trackers for the year. Over here we have my Goodreads goal, which was 40 books, which I did meet and surpassed. There are 40 circles here, and I believe I finished last year with 43 finished books, not including any DNFs. So each color represented a month. So the blues were January reads, and then over here I did the days read, which I just had 365 slots, squares, rectangles, and filled in each of the days, however many days I read that month. So again, the colors correspond to the months. And I read a total of 198 days last year, which was more than half. So that was fun. And then I attempted to do the Pop Sugar Challenge. I wasn't very successful at it. I have a lot of blank spaces. And there were a couple of books that I actually used twice, so that was even less successful. But I think this may have been more successful if I had used the prompts to pick the books that I read, but instead I just when or if I remembered to go check it. If I had read a book that matched a prompt, I marked it off. I tried it. It's not for me, so I probably won't be doing it again. And we had some continued that didn't fit on the last page. And then we have the 2020 books I had listed were all the books I had left over from the previous year that I had not read yet. And then, of course, if I read them during that year, I would mark them off. And then my 2022 buys, so all the books I bought in 2022, and then, of course, they were marked off whenever I read them. And then I think it continues on to the next page. Yeah, so I bought some more. And then to end out 2022 was just a general stats page. You're welcome to pause if you want to look at them, or don't hold me to it, but I'm thinking about making a 2023 reading goals, and I could do like a 2022 wrap up, include these stats if you would like. If you do want to see that, just let me know and I can make that happen for sure. So that was 2022, very simple and short, and 2023 is not much different. So let's go on. Alright, so last year it was sort of this dusty blue colors, and this year it's more of a teal, I guess. I was going to say turquoise, but I think turquoise is more blue and this is more green. So we're going to go with teal. So these two light and dark teals and this metallic gold. It probably doesn't look very metallic to you, but it is metallic and it does shine in the right light. But I went with the Roman numerals on this cover page for 2023 reading journal. And the only theme I have here is colors. There's nothing else tying all these pages together, except for maybe some font. A lot of it is the same, though maybe set up a little bit different than last year. Alright, so I enjoyed it so much last year that I did it again. This year we'll be doing the Battle of the Books. Best book of the year, we'll see what comes out with. Although it's a little bit more colorful than last year's. Okay, this is my days read, which I did last year as well, but set up completely different. So last year I just counted the total number of days that I read and put it on the tracker graph thing. This year I'm actually going to be keeping up with not only how many days I read, but like what days of the week or days of the month that I read. And that way maybe I can see if there's like a period, like beginning, middle, or end, that I read more, just to have more insights, more stats, because I love data and graphs and stats and just all the good stuff. And then we have the total count over here for each month, and then the total for the year down here. And then I did keep up with the hours and pages I read last year, but not in a graph form, and I really just, again, love graphs and data. So I'm going to be keeping up with it here. So I'll use the colors designated light and dark for hours and pages, and split up between the bar graphs in each month. For hours read, over here is the scale 1 or 10 through 100 for the month, and then over here is the scale for pages read, though I wish I would have set it up a little bit different and made it go up to 2,000 instead of 1,000, but I didn't, so we're just gonna go with it and see how it goes. Okay, and then just like before, I had the previous books that I owned but have not read coming into this year, and I will mark them off as I go. I don't know if you can see, but this one here is halfway marked off, A Universe of Wishes. This is an anthology of short stories that I just kind of use in between books, or if I'm waiting on a library book or something like that. So I have read at least one story in it, so I have it marked halfway off. And then of course I won't mark it off until I finish all the stories in there. But this is all the books I have on my shelf currently that I own but have not read yet. And then we have room for my 2023 buys and an extra page if necessary. So the next two pages are ones I've never done before, and I'm pretty excited about both of them. So this is my books read page. I really love looking at like my Goodreads or my Bookly or Storygraph, where it has all the book covers that you read that year all together in one little area. And I really love to see other people's reading journals where they print out every cover that they read and put them on a spread all together. And I just really wanted to try it. I really wanted to do it. I only left room, there's only enough room on this page for, I think, 32 books, which last year, again, I read 43, but my goal this year, as a spoiler, in case I do the next video, is not a book number, it's to read bigger books. So I'm hoping maybe this will be enough, and if not, I can always just make another page. So I am very excited about this one, but what I'm most excited about, and I'm not exactly sure why, but my last spread in this journal is this one, First Line, which I've already added for my first book that I read this year. But I want to fill up this entire page with the first line of every book that I read this year. I'm not sure why I'm so excited about this, but I am, and I can't wait to have it all filled out, every page, hopefully every line, depending on how much I read, I suppose. But I'm very excited about this page. I've heard people talk about these pages, but I've never actually seen one completed. So I don't know how other people set them up. I just know that apparently some people do them. Alright, so that's it. I always have, these are all blank pages after here because I need more room for first lines or book covers. I could also, if I do participate in any readathons, I can always do a spread for those and not necessarily have monthly spreads, but just readathon spreads and things like that. So I'm not sure what else I'll do this year if I do anything else, but these simple year-long spreads tend to work better for me than monthly spreads, having to remember to set them up and come up with new things, and it just, I don't know. I think I just like the whole yearly stats things. So, I know this is probably a pretty short video, but hopefully you enjoyed it, and maybe you found a spread that you enjoyed that maybe you want to try out in your reading journal. Again, if you want to know more about my stats, and if you do for sure want to know about my 2023 reading goals, let me know and I will make sure that I make that video, because I haven't 100% decided if I am going to or not, but if you want it, I will do it. And I think that's it. So as always, I thank you so much for being here, and I hope that means see you soon.